Welcome to Atlantic Tarot. This is the tarot forecast for Sagittarius for the month of July, including late June 2025. So, Sag, we are in the sign of Cancer. So, lots of emotions flying around, swimming around, flowing around, gushing, or still emotionless. However, you are in your 8th house of receivership, so it means exactly what it says, receivership, so receiving things, money, favours, all sorts of things that you've put out there are now going to come back to you. It's also governs taboos like sex, drugs, rock and roll, that kind of thing, things in our culture that we still have taboos about, things that shouldn't be really done but are. They may rise to the surface as well in receivership. So the energy around for you is the 9 of Wands. So there's been a big journey, a lot of action and movement going on, and now you're coming to the tail end of it, and you're a bit, oh God, we're there yet kind of energy, and you know that you will cross the finish line come what may. It always happens all the time. But the journey can be fraught with ups and downs, as we know, and then we get to almost the end and we think, oh my God, I'm not going to make it. But invariably we do. So, Sag, let's see exactly what that talks about in your world for the next 4 weeks. And it's energetic as it's fire and you're fire, so you can be sure there's lots of energy being put into whatever project you've undertaken that is nearly coming to its fruition, whether you like it or not. It's like that exam or that paper has to be put in by a certain date and we're still cramming, the night before. Okay, where you are right now, Saggy. The Hierophant, moral compass. So really listening to your moral compass, big card, big energy. This is the card for the Taurians, who are very sort of organised, methodical plotter types, but they always get to where they want to go, and they use their moral compass with it as well. That's why they're often quite successful. So we're talking about success through using our moral compass, and it is, there can be big lessons involved when we get the Hierophant there, questioning us and sort of asking us, morally, are you okay with this decision? Do you feel like you've done everything in your own moral compass land to be where you're at? It's also the card for high religion, obviously, where we, people going to church to worship. Now people use many types of ways of worshipping what they believe in, so that's good. And it's also authority. Whether we like it or not, there are authority, there are rules that we have to obey, and if we don't, well, you can just reap the consequences, isn't it, Sagittarius? So let's see the influencing card and what's influenced this Hierophant to come into being, and indeed what will be influencing the rest of the reading. Oh, the 9 of Swords, fear for fear's sake. So yes, indeed, this journey has been very fraught with mind energy. Will this happen? Won't this happen? What if, what if, what if? On and on like a broken record in your head. And actually it's fear for fear's sake. So then you can look back and go, oh my God, did I have so many sleepless nights wondering and worrying about things that really have turned out fine? The energy I used really was quite a waste. That's all that can be said about the 9 of Swords. It also talks about sleeplessness, so it does indicate the mind sort of going into overdrive, but into the negative. which is very hard to combat. Very hard to combat the mind. However, you've got nothing to fear. It's training. Let's have a look at what was going on in May, June. Very interesting time as it was. Two of Pentacles, juggling things very well, very busy time. Things going, a lot going on, obviously, with the twos. Decisions to be made that you had to make on the fly. Also, it's about the juggle of it, how you sort of maintain that basis of keeping all your plates spinning at once, especially when there's sort of big projects involved and uncertainty and mind energy coming in, but you're very sort of grounded here with what you've got and what you've done. So this energy still prevails over this reading for this next 4 weeks. So use that and look back on what you were doing in May and June and go, oh yeah, it did. I got it together and nothing fell apart. So I made the right decision in a way. It can also talk about 2 jobs or, doing things, doing lots of study and working, but it's about that fine balance once again. And decisions, obviously, 2 is always about making decisions. So now we'll go to recent influences. And we had Strength, wow. Big card for the Leo people. It represents the Leos. It's about self-awareness. It really is, I guess, speaking from experience, that card of throwing yourself in the deep end and then just really having to swim very hard against all odds, that you know you've got to get through it, but it's excruciating at times to get through these big projects and use your strength just to carry you through to the outcome, to the end. And the self-awareness that other people have a completely different mindset to you, and factoring that in with everything you do, with your work people and your relationship people, your family. You might make Sagittarius are famous for making very frank comments, almost sarcastic, and then wondering why other people didn't find it funny or they found it offensive. And learning to rein that in a bit, Sag, because as Sagittarians we do that and then think, oh my God, I didn't expect that. So strength is about really being self-aware, how your actions affect others and vice versa. The lesson. 9 of Cups, the Wish card. Beautiful card. So it looks like, you've really been doing a lot of expending of energy and working hard. And then when we get to the 9 of Cups, it's like that wish has come true. But fear not. It's like you've done a lot, you've put out a lot of energy to get to where you are. So you get rewarded by this card. So it's almost like a celebratory card as well. But it's a hard-won sort of wish card. People just think it lands on your lap, but we know that it doesn't. It requires a lot of work, and then you get the reward in the tarot of the 9 of Cups. Okay, let's see, near future. Queen of Wands, so creativity. She's your queen. Creativity, very sort of queen, speaking about frank people that say it how it is. It's very much a Sagittarian thing, but it's also very much that power of just saying it how it is and being direct, where other people are sort of indirect and it's like, oh no, that doesn't wash. And the Queen of Wands, she's creative and she's direct and she gets things done, and she also inspires other people to go out there and just grab it and take it and do it, rather than sit there thinking about it or whatever else. So she is really good, and she is with you as we go into the Cancer season. So get that creativity, and creativity covers everything. People say, I'm not creative, but we are creative the way we live, for example. You know, is it fun? Is it happy? Is it, you know, what creativity do you put in? So she's a good friend to have. And she's one of your type. So let's see what's happening that you're not realising. Decisions to make. You've got a decision to make and you're like, oh, I can't do it. And day by day it just gets more and more excruciating because it's not a major decision, but it's just something you need to address or do and get it out of the way. So whatever that may be. But once again, it's mind and energy as well, so you could be sort of tying yourself in knots upstairs here. And all you have to do with this is make the decision and move on. And as I said, it's not a major card, it's a minor card. So it's a bit like a, you know, you've got a blindfold on and you just don't know. You don't know what to do, so you just do nothing. And that's just going to linger around until you make a decision. We'll have to look at that with the Oracle card later, I believe. Okay, let's see how other people are seeing us. The Queen of Swords. Yeah, talk about being direct. Well, she's a very direct person. She's a court card like the Queen of Wands, so of course it could be a real life person in your life that's sort of involved in this whole scenario for this month. She is direct. She gets rid of any sort of extraneous bits of, you know, bobs, the things that dead wood really, and cuts to the quick. She can come across as quite a bitter woman. She's had a lot of experience, but she knows what she needs to do. Her mind is organised, and she doesn't, what is it? She doesn't suffer fools, it's the word. So, well done actually. It's a good card to get actually. To know that mentally you're sort of organised and you've learnt by your mistakes and you say it how it is rather than, you know, wanting to go with the group or not wanting to be sort of one out. You just go, no, well, that's not what I think. So she is very good for that, and we all need to learn a bit of that sometimes in life, especially with communication, which she rules. Okay, let's see positive feelings and hanging on rather than letting go. Money can be a bit of a miser card, but on a universal level, it's almost about hanging on to things in a way. Money is a good analogy, but it's also hanging on to old stuff that you think, well, you know, I'll keep it. But the antidote for it is to let it go and see where it's almost like opening a new door. Letting go and then just seeing how it lands, because holding on just makes us weaker and weaker because it hurts to hold on. It takes a lot of energy, and you know that, and this is one of your vices that you're probably, or not even a vice, it's just something that you know you have to work on. I think we all do, and it sounds easy, but it ain't. So you're feeling positive about that, so working on that as well is good. It's also very much a past life-ish card. It's like hanging on to lots of things in the past that really need to be let go of because they serve no purpose. Okay, let's go to the final outcome. And we have exhaustion. Yeah, so we're going to cross the line definitely, but we're going to be a bit exhausted, in need of a rest, because it's been a very busy time on all levels with all the elements: fire, air, earth, water. So we need to just rest when this comes in. And this is actually a Sagittarian card as well. So Saggies are very well known for taking on more than they can handle, but doing it anyway and sort of limping over the finish line, I might say. Right, I'll put an oracle card on this Two of Swords, which is the decision that we're trying to make that we just can't seem to make. So give us a clarifier. And we get the Bard again. So we get this sort of the outward Sagittarian, you know, the decision to be kind of, the Bard is literally like a modern day word. It's an entertainer. It's a person that commands attention and is very good at what they do. They story tell, they tell stories, they entertain people, whether it by song or acting or whatever in the modern day. But then in myth, so it's almost like it's a person that can appear one way on the outer, but on the inside there's an immaturity to them that doesn't get seen, you know. So it's about making, I guess, your shadow side compatible with your outer persona. So your inward life to your outer life. And often we find with people who are very clever entertainers, they're all very fabulous outwardly, but inwardly there's usually a bit of a battle going on. And you would never know it because the Bard always comes across as confident and funny and things. So I'm guessing that is the decision to make, sort of just balancing and being your authentic self and working on that sort of inner side as well, coming out of yourself more to show another side of yourself that's quite different to what you project. It's probably a bit of a difficult one. It's a difficult one to explain, but that's my explanation for that, and therefore make the decision to, you know, balance up your outer with your inner. Thank you for listening, Sagittarius. Have a great 4 weeks.